Week one's officially over, in the books. Today's Tuesday, September 10th. We're going to take a look at all of our best ball drafts from the summer, see where we stand after week one. It's a long season. Again, none of the money in best ball is made in week one. It's made in the playoffs. But we're going to take a look. Before we get into that, though, let's take a look at some injury reports and see what is cooking here, if anything. Already 42 minutes ago, Russ likely to miss out on another start. Let's see. So Fields should get the start against Denver. Denver's defense is decent. Surtain was just locking down Metcalf all game. More prone to the run. Kenneth Walker had a good day against the Denver defense. Maybe Fields can have a good day. Maybe Najee. According to Gary Dulac, Wilson's feeling better than he did, but he won't take any meaningful reps until Thursday, which puts him in a nice little setback. Fields will be taking the first team reps. That's interesting to note. I mean, Fields didn't look bad necessarily. He was, relatively accurate, just not a lot of yards, not a lot of passing volume in Pittsburgh. If you haven't already, I put out a video yesterday with our Overreaction Monday. I did a little recap on the Steelers and what I thought about all their fantasy viable players and what I think about them moving forward. Go ahead, check that out. But I don't think Fields is horrible for Pittsburgh. He's good for George Pickens, in my opinion. Fields kept DJ Moore afloat last year, provided some of his big games. He's not afraid to take deep shots, in my opinion. You do lose some of that passing volume because he will tuck it and run, but not the worst thing in the world. Let's see what else we have going. Some Raider stuff. Alexander Madison. Lamar expected to be fine. Just said he was sore, so nothing there. Garrett Wilson had 11 targets. Rodgers, meh. Brees looked all right. Other than that, there was some other injury news, just with Achane not practicing yesterday on a short week. Same with Mostert. They play Thursday night. That's concerning, especially since I have Devon Achane on one of my teams. Let me go ahead and look. What else? Obviously, Njoku banged up week to week. Higgins still questionable. Last night, they alluded to CMC not playing Sunday, possibly again. Jordan Mason looked just fine out there, if you haven't picked him up. Puka's on the IR. Let's see if Marshawn Lloyd ends up playing. Kenneth Walker had that abdomen injury. Jordan Love doesn't go on IR, which leaves him open to an early return other than 4 weeks, maybe 3 or 2 weeks, but still going to be out the next couple weeks. Jake Ferguson questionable. I wonder what happened to him. Hasn't been ruled out. Diagnosed with MCL sprain and bone bruise, so not season ending. Good news there with him. Jordan Addison questionable. I think it was a high ankle sprain. He's hopeful that Addison will be available. Probably not. I want to see the Njoku injury. Njoku's week to week. That's all you really get out of that one. So that's about it. Let me look at the Achane stuff. So yeah, just a non-participant yesterday. I don't know what's going to happen today. But anyway, let's get into our best ball stuff here. So 64 total entries. That's including Superflex, weekly winners, marathon drafts, pre-draft best ball, and just regular season best ball, along with sit and go drafts and tournaments. What we have at stake, so we're winning. Again, none of that's really meaningful here. Well, let's take a look at just the teams that are in placement right now. So none of our Superflex teams are even there. Do we have anything close? Nope. And no. We look here though. I was looking a little bit earlier to see. Leaderboard 2, we have 1 in 4th place, which is enough to advance. It gives us a ticket. That's Lamar, Baker, Minshew, with Henry, Walker, Ford, Algier, Herbert, Mitchell, Gainwell, Jefferson, Harrison, Williams, Dobbs, Myers, Lockett, Robinson, Palmer, Andrews, Bowers. I like the tight end build here. Hopefully Andrews can do something. On the draft recap, I went with the Lamar Andrews stack 4-5, I think. Obviously, this team's going to need more production receiver-wise. It's pretty solid running back-wise. And then Lamar and Baker should be able to carry the boat as a quarterback. Hopefully, Kenneth Walker stays healthy. We will need kind of an injury to get one of these players to boost up. I would expect only Algier to be putting in work. Maybe Keaton Mitchell way later in the season, but really receivers are going to have to, do something. We're going to need Mike Williams to actually play. The Puka injury is good for Demarcus Robinson. I do have a lot of Demarcus Robinson bags. Anyway, Leaderboard 1, I have 2 teams in first. This first team, Kirk Cousins probably the downfall, but I do have Penix there, which is kind of nice because if Kirk Cousins does get replaced, I have that backfill right there. Not sure why I took both of them when I don't have anybody on Atlanta. So this build's kind of ugly, but whatever. AR crushes it as expected. The running backs on this team are insane with Gibbs, Taylor, Pollard, Moss, and Dobbins. They all looked the part in week 1. Maybe not Jonathan Taylor. He wasn't super impressive in terms of efficiency, but the rest were sturdy. Need Neighbors to work out here a little more. I think he'll be just fine. That Giants team looked horrible. They're going to pass the ball. Just a matter of Danny Dimes can lock in. Other than that, Josh Downs, hopefully he comes back. Being monitored for week 2. Possible he's back this week. Probably not. Adonai Mitchell looked pretty decent. AR just missed him on some throws. Deep downfield for touchdowns. Zay Jones, as we know, suspended. Malachi Corley really doesn't play because of Alan Lazard. So, and then Yoshivas doesn't really do much even with T. Higgins out. 3 catches, 26 yards. On 6 targets, though. Joe Burrow looked okay, I guess. Just hesitant. And Njoku being out hurts us. Hopefully he can bounce back quick. Because otherwise we're leaning on Kate Otten and Brevin Jordan. This team here. Again, another Lamar team. Love out. Kenny Pickett's not viable. But the nice thing is Lamar's bye is week 14. So if Lamar stays healthy, we'll be able to get Jordan Love back in a few weeks and have this team rolling. The running backs on this team are sturdy as well, besides Dameon Pierce. Ramondre looking to be a nice workhorse in New England. Hopefully Singletary. Hopefully the Giants can just stay in game so Singletary can get more work. Receiver-wise, gonna need Love to come back for Reed to be relevant. Need Bryce Young to be anything other than atrocious for Deontay to be relevant, but the depth on this team is pretty nice. Juwan Jennings even had a nice game yesterday for the Niners. I'm a fan of this with the tight ends being Kittle and Pat Freiermuth. One of my nicer teams, I think. Moving on to the majority of my tournaments in week, or just the regular season for tournaments. Hound Dog, I have 1 advancing. Yeah, another Jordan Love team. Need him to come back. Bryce Young killing me. So Geno Smith's going to have to hold the boats for a little bit. Again, running backs here, nice. Mostert doesn't do much, and he's injured now, but with Jacobs, Saquon, Montgomery, and then McLaughlin being a nice kind of, not workhorse, but he's getting And he had 10 carries, 5 receptions. If he can be a little more efficient, if that offense can be a little better, he's a nice 4th, 5th running back on this team. Another team where Jaden Reed's kind of hurt by Love not playing, but that'll fix itself in a few weeks. Hills Hill need Levis to be better. Adonai Mitchell could have had a huge week if AR was not horrible at passing the football. If his accuracy was even just like 10% of what his freakish talent is, he'd be great. The rest of these guys, not too stoked about. Kirk Cousins looked horrible, so Darnell Mooney, meh. Tight end wise, looking nice, but elite tight end looking trash. So far this season, I have trust in Laporta and Big Pat. Back to it, onto the fast puppy. Another Lamar team. Common theme here. I did take a lot of Lamar. I guess I took a lot of Jordan Love. I did take a lot of Lamar, AR, and Hurts in drafts. And then a lot of nice Matt Stafford late in drafts. I liked him. He's going to have to throw a lot, I think. Just hopefully he's doing... Again, he had 49 attempts in the first game. Just if he can take that touchdown rate to 1 or 2 more a game, it'll be sturdy. Here again, running back room is... it's decent. Relying on Montgomery's touchdowns and Kamara's pass catching abilities. Not a fan of Javonte. Really was splitting work with McLaughlin. Actually gets out touched by him. Foreman's just a non-player right now. Receiver room is stacked to the core right now. Cooper Kupp's going to have a field day with Puka out. 21 targets on Sunday night. Hopefully T. Higgins is back in the lineup. Josh Palmer, hopefully he's, getting more looks there. Demarcus Robinson, see a nice uptick as well. McMillan had a nice deep touchdown in his rookie debut. And then obviously tight end wise looking crispy with the likely usage. And then Juwan Johnson and Pat Freiermuth. Johnson has a touchdown. Moving on to the Puppy 3. Where I had 10 entries. Only 1 is advancing right now. 2 were in 3rd place though. We won't take a look at those. But 1 advancing. The Josh Allen, Matt Stafford team. 6 RB build with JT, Stevenson, Williams, Davis, Tracy, Bigsby. Nice to see that Bigsby has a role. So if anything does happen to Etienne, I'm pretty confident that Bigsby will get a decent amount of carries at least. With Tracy and Davis, I'm just hoping Ray Davis takes over the red zone role as James Cook just really can't get it done. Javonte looking washed. Again, it's week 1. Don't want to overreact too much. Puka out. This team's... And Jaden Reed. This team's kind of crushed, honestly. Puka out. T. Higgins out. I don't even know how this team's even close. Jaden Reed really just carried it, but now it's tough with some injuries. I don't know. Don't like that team because of the injuries. Moving on. Puppy 2, 4 entries, 1 advancing so far. Mahomes, Levis, Young. Yikes. Mahomes going to have to carry this team. H.M. Pacheco. Gus Edwards, one of my most drafted running backs. Disappointing, to say the least. Chase Brown, disappointing. Eckler, pretty disappointing. With Hill, Evans, Coleman, Rice. So receiving room looks pretty solid. Quinn Johnston was actually the leading receiver, I think, in LA, which is crazy to say. Besides Ladd McConkey, but Quinn Johnston was getting some schemed up touches. Not a bad receiving room. Something for like late in the year with Coleman and hopefully QJ can step on the scene. Bowers, leading tight end. Jonnu and Sinot not playing a role much in their offenses. Probably 3 entries, 1 advancing, 1 in 4th actually. Gonna have to rely on Watson and Levis because it's a Jordan Love team, but running back wise, just crushing it with Hall, Barkley, and Mixon. It's turning out like these. I'm looking. A common theme is like the zero RB wasn't the way to go, at least after week 1. Like it should have been hero or double hero RB builds here because week 1 passing volume was so low. There were only like 30-some passing touchdowns. Stats are horrible. Go ahead and check it out. My recent video I did yesterday on the Overreaction Monday. Talked about some stats on week 1 compared to the last couple seasons, all the way down to 1970s actually, but obviously it's only 1 week. But if the season ended today, the amounting receiving TDs to rushing TDs were equal. And the only time the receiving TDs were at 1.1 average per game per team was like the night in the 70s. So it's horrible. It was bad. Receiver wise on this team, you got Reed in personal shot. I mean, common theme again is me having like Tyler Boyd, Josh Palmer, guys that I liked. I have a lot of Brock Bowers. Hopefully Hawkinson can come back, which I think he is. He's on post bye return, so week 6 bye. I like that. It'll be all right. NMG Best Ball, 2 entries, none. Corgi, 1 entry, 2 entries, none. Mini Schnauzer, 3 entries, 1 moving on. 2 quarterback build. Mayfield outscoring Hurts. Don't like the running backs on this team at all. Nice to see that Zeke has a kind of starting role. Zamir White's trash. Brian Robinson proven to be the one though, so it could be worse. Nice receivers in this build. This was a nice Tampa Bay build and Eagles build. So, has a shot here. Maybe Jalen Tolbert can pick up some steam with Ferguson. Maybe going to be out because we're going to need it because Ferguson's on our team. Definitely Goddard can also stay healthy and carry the boats there. What was that? The Schnauzer. That was a Schnauzer 6. Nothing here, nothing in the 4, in the 5. 1 team and 1 team advancing. This was a decent team. This is a Hurts Stafford team with another equals build. I did a lot of Hurts Barkley because I just suspected that Barkley, if he did take the touchdowns, then at least I'm getting all the touchdowns, whether it's Hurts or Barkley. Getting them. The running back room, contingent on injuries. Wide receiver room. Again, some consistent theme. You'll see a lot of DeMarcus Robinson. Tyler Lockett, I've been taking. Just need Calvin Ridley to do something. Hopefully Robinson can pick up steam. Luke McCaffrey looking like possibly the number 2 option in the NFL. Or the Commanders, I mean. Kittle Goddard, decent tight end build. I don't hate the team. Let's check out Marathon. 185 points already. Man, that guy should have been a weekly winner. My Marathon team, 113 points. That's Herbert, Tua, Justice Hill. Not a bad team with Dobbins actually breaking out and Hill proving to be an option. The wide receivers on this one are pretty sturdy. I'm actually a fan of this team. Tight ends need to pick it up, but that's not a bad Marathon team. If we go ahead and look at the other Marathon team we had, which I don't know why it's not letting me look at it. It was doing this earlier. Okay, I'm gonna have to look on my phone. I was doing this last time I was trying to look at my Marathon teams. It wouldn't let me. See my 11 ranked team. This team only scored 85 points. It was Mahomes, Caleb Williams, Pacheco, Moss, Charbonnet, Lloyd, Pierce, with Puka, Collins, Ridley, Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Romeo Dobbs, Michael Wilson, Troy Franklin, Komet, Conklin, Dolchich. Yeah, that team's not doing well in the marathon. So that team's pretty much dead in the water in the marathon. I have one that's going to potentially float. Sit and goes. We're in second and one. Fifth and a couple. AR. Pretty sturdy team. I mean, with these drafts, sit and goes I kind of do just to make easy money. A lot of them are just inexperienced drafters. I made a decent portion of money last year just doing these drafts because, I mean, people were, I don't want to say dumb, but much easier lobbies when you're drafting in these compared to some of these tournament style drafts. So these are easier to hit on, easier to win money in my opinion. Weekly winners, I had nothing going for me. My closest team was this one here. It wasn't horrible. But yeah, I'm just gonna need, I mean, with Njoku out, this team's kind of burnt for a little bit. I have two McCaffrey teams that are kind of burnt if he's not playing. Same with this one. And this one's rough because I have Mitchell, Marshawn Lloyd. Like, obviously nothing was going to be going here for me. I mean, this team's already crushed. I have like 8. I have so many people out in that team. This one has Puka. Like, this is the same like kind of thing as last year's. I got killed on injuries in weekly winners and just never recovered. So like, if that happened to me again this year, it's just ridiculous. Luck, I guess. My other team, decent, I guess. But I don't know, weekly winners is tough. The winning team weekly winners this week was Lamar, Saquon, Joe Mixon, J.K. Dobbins, Jaden Reed, Jameson Williams, Justin Jefferson, Isaiah Likely. They won nice 20 bands. So this one's kind of, I mean, they stacked Lamar with Likely and no pass catchers. They end up having the Jaden Reed and Saquon together for that game. They mix in. That's pretty much it. There was really no rhyme or reason to this team, in my opinion. Besides that little correlation there, it just ended up hitting. So this one's just kind of pure luck. They did try to mix Laporta with the Jameson Williams. No. Yeah, nothing really like too thought out here. No bringbacks too much. But yeah, not bad. Good team, obviously. It won 20 bands. Huh. Anyway, that's it for this week. Just quick one. 23 minutes. We'll do this every Tuesday. So after the Monday night games finished, we'll do a little recap of where we're at in these best ball drafts, what teams are doing what. Keep you guys updated on them. Again, not a ton of entries, 64, but just low content for you guys and help me keep myself updated on these teams as well throughout the season. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you haven't, please drop a like, subscribe, comment on this video, what you liked about it, what you want to see more of. If there's anything we could do better or change, please let me know. If you want to draft an underdog, link in description, use code TEMPTATION. You'll get 50% deposit match. I think it's up to $1,000 right now. So if you deposit a full $1,000, you get an extra $500 to bet with. And if you're in a state that allows pick'ems, you can do pick'ems. You can do DFS stuff. The best ball stuff's over until around Halloween time. We'll do some best ball resurrection drafts. Yeah, there's tons of other sports on here too. If you guys are interested, please use code in the description.